Hey y'all, Jacqueline Murphy here, and I have here sitting next to me the beautiful Miss Tyelisha McKinney, CEO of Tye Live, also Tye Live Entertainment. Okay, I was making sure I got all of that.
Yes.
All right, so thank you so much and welcome, and thank you for joining me here.
Thank you for
today.
having me.
Yes, yes. All right, so you guys may have known of Miss Tye from Tye Live Entertainment, but you've never really gotten a chance to see her up front and center, because she's always in the background. She's always uplifting someone, promoting them, and I see you have a huge heart for women.
Yes.
So tell us, why do you have such a heart for women?
Well, I have such a heart for women because the one thing women have in common, no matter where you go in this world, is we're always being looked at as being weak, the lesser. We should be seen, not heard. Barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen somewhere.
Wow.
And my thing is, we are relevant, and our role and position as women in this earth is big. From the time we're in our mothers, when we bear the responsibility of carrying life in us, literally. You know, so it's like, it's amazing. Before we're actually born, we still have life aside from our own in us. Whether we choose to have that life later or not, it still doesn't negate the fact that that life is in us. So there's no way we could be the weaker or the lesser, where we are nurturers by nature. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether you are a mother or not, there's a side of us that are nurturers. Like, even when you meet women who don't have children, they still are nurturers. You know, they nurture their nieces, their nephews, or their neighbors, or you know, we find ourselves caring for people, and that's just a part of our make. So I am tired of seeing how women are just done any kind of way, to the point where now a lot of women accept it and do it to each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a problem when a woman calls another woman the B word as a term of endearment. Listen, if I call you the B word,
we're seeing it a lot more, especially in looking at you know, Hollywood and a lot of the pop culture.
It's sensationalized.
Right.
It's sensationalized. See, when I was coming up, somebody called you the B word, it was time to fight.
Right.
So if I call somebody the B word, it's because I mean it and I'm not taking it back. That's where we at right now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You're not gonna be my friend and I call you the B word. On no level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say, B, where you get your shoes from, or B, let's go out to eat. Like, why?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So let's talk more about that, because you're so passionate. She's very passionate about this stuff. Let's talk about just how, maybe not necessarily the African American culture, but just how the culture has changed and how it's affected women and what it's doing to our young kids.
See, it's a problem when you have these young children. They want the butt injections, and I'm not knocking butt injections. I'm not knocking whatever cosmetics a woman feels she needs to be happy. But my thing is, when children that are 5 and 6 years old look at themselves and they say, I'm not beautiful because I don't match that description. Wow. We have to be mindful of the message that we're sending out to our young children. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, you got grown men out there looking. You know what I'm saying? And then now, especially over here in America, because of what's in the food and what's in our drinks, the water, you know, it causes our children to develop a lot quicker than other children from other
cultures.
Yeah. So they be 4 and 5 years old with thighs, hips, a Coke bottle shape, and butt already, and it's like, and then they be like, well, I want more butt because so-and-so have it. And it's like, you know, so we have to be mindful of the message that we send out. Like I said, I don't knock it at all. I have friends, you know, that have it, you know, knock yourself out. But we have to be mindful of what image that we put out there to the children. What's okay, what's not okay.
So what I'm hearing you say, Tye, and correct me if I'm wrong, that with every decision that we make, especially as women, that there comes responsibilities, there comes repercussions, that it's not just about you. You don't live in a vacuum by yourself in a bubble, that it affects you, it affects your household, and it affects your community. Is that right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly. Wow. I'm a mother of 5. Okay. I started over with having children. So I have adults, and now I have a 6 and 2-year-old. And my 6-year-old little girl mimics me. You see what I'm saying? So stuff that I don't even realize she's watching, she do. And the good thing about it is it's been all positive things that I see her do. To the point where she says, Mommy, when I grow up, I want 5 children. Oh, like, you want 5 children? Well, let's make sure, you know what I'm saying? But she wants to be a mommy like I am to her.
Wow.
And she always says, "Mommy, you do so much for everybody else." And she's 6 years old. Wow. And she's saying this, and she first told me that when she was 5. You know what I'm saying? She said, "Mommy, you do so much for everybody." Yeah. And like, you was just so amazing. And it baffled me a little, because it was like you take for granted how much a child is really watching you, especially when you're caught up in the busy of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're caught up in the busy of the day. You're talking, she hears my conversations on the phone, she sees what I'm doing when I'm putting together events, when I'm honoring women, when I'm doing stuff, and see, she's right there with me to see all of this. And so she wants to be able to give now because of what she sees me doing. You know what I'm saying?
So you know what, you talk about the busy, and I met Miss Tye, where was
at the Survivor Stroll.
The Survivors, yeah. And then, Sisters, I Have Your Back, you gave me that wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For giving me that opportunity behind the scenes. And we've just been like, sponge and water ever since.
Yes.
The two of us, yes. Two kindred spirits. And you're just go, go, go. I don't even know how you're able to do everything. I know that you have the Sisters. You are relevant. Yes. Tell us all that you are able to do behind the scenes, that you're doing to honor, like you said, women, to be that example, not just within your household. Now you see that your daughter is watching, but the people in the world is watching what you're doing. Tell us more about what you're doing.
Well, I started Sister I Have Your Back 3 years ago. And I started because, once again, I got tired of seeing how women are being done. When I'm watching documentaries, seeing how women in other countries are being done, and I'm like, we have this in common. So it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't care about any of that. If you're a woman, this is for you. So I remind women that you're relevant. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to know. You can have the most beautiful woman that's smiling in your face, and when she get home, her self-esteem is so shot. She's depressed. You know what I'm saying? Because of what was done to her, either when she was coming up or when she was in a relationship, how a man stripped her of her value. You know what I'm saying? And it's common. It's more common than you would think. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to be able to remind women that your space here in this earth, you know what I'm saying, needs you. If it didn't need you, you wouldn't be here. Right. So you're relevant. I want women's self-worth to just rise to another level. Like, I want women to hold their heads high. Like, we don't have to do all this bantering with calling each other out their name or trying to beat somebody to the punchline with what they're doing.
That's so interesting that you said that, because you mentioned about women calling each other out of their names, and also you said it could be within a relationship, right? So do you feel like women do it among themselves more than, say, a man doing it to a woman in terms of stifling that woman's voice? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's a circle of it. There's a 360 effect with it. We do what's been done to us. You see what I'm saying? And take slavery, for instance, right? You had these strong Africans that came over, right? That was used to fighting, warriors or whatever.
Warriors, yeah.
And over a period of time of them being abused, and the women watching these men being abused in front of them, the men watching the women be raped in front of them, it's kind of like, I feel helpless. So I'm gonna just go ahead and go with the flow. Anything that's going to smooth stuff over. And that same cycle is still now. It went from we were being called niggas. You know what I'm saying? And it's to the point now where all races is calling each other niggas. Only race I haven't heard of is a Jew. You got the Chinese, hey my nigga, and the white people, hey my nigga, the black people still, hey my nigga, and it's like, when have nigga became sensationalized? That's happened like late 80s, early 90s, you know what I'm saying? So comment, homeboy, my nigga, dog, where we going? And it's like, then they say, well, words can mean what you want it to mean. It can, but it also has an original meaning. And that original meaning will never go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the B word. Same thing with thought, and all this. It's accepted. Why is it accepted? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you really see yourself? You know it's a problem. I watched The Little Women of ATL. And I love watching it. But they have a huge problem being called midget, right? They want to be called little people. When I was coming up, they were called midgets. I didn't know it was offensive until they started watching the show. Okay, so They have a huge problem with being called midgets, but they don't have a problem with calling each other the B word.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and yes, it could be for TV, but guess what? You got these 5-year-old girls. Once again, we go right back to responsibilities. Then you see the little boys watching it. So now it's okay. The little boys say, well, hey, if you calling yourself that, why I can't call you that? If you allow you to be treated this way, why should I treat you with respect? Why? How can we demand respect when there's